We are teetering on the edge. Food shortage worries mount as Pennsylvania farms crushed by record diesel prices. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings to all you brethren pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. This is Brother Dama Agabar here from GMS Los Angeles with another lesson, Lord willing to edify and give you warning. All right. And this is just another article dealing with the up and coming famine. All right. And I'm doing this lesson just to show you that this is just one of the many ways that famines happen. A famine is not always caused by the effects of, the Most High sending bad weather or too much heat or too much rain or too much, flooding or, mold and, you can get like animals, like locusts could come and eat the crops. There's many ways that the Lord can send a famine upon the land. All right. And the way that this famine is coming right now, and one of the ways that, and in this instance in Pennsylvania, how the Lord is touching the famine is by these farmers not being able to take the crops out of the ground. All right. And that's going to cause, that's just another, one of the another ways that the Lord is sending these arrows of famine unto Babylon the Great is by, the farmers don't have enough money to put fuel in their equipment to pull the crops out of the land. So here it is, you have crops that are planted, but if you can't take the crops out or have the machinery to pull these crops out, guess what? That leads unto famine also. And one thing that we've been harping on here at Great Millstone as of late is that one thing about famine, this engineered famine that is happening, is that through famine, you can have control. Through starvation, you can have control over the people. All right. And you can make people make decisions when they're starving that they wouldn't ordinarily make if they had a little bit of food in their stomach. And this is all plans of these global elite to basically bring you people into this new world order and to bring you to get that charagma, the MOTB. So I'm going to read this little short article and I'm going to give you the example during the time of ancient Egypt and Pharaoh and how the people basically sold themselves into slavery unto the Pharaoh because of the lack of bread. And the same thing is going to happen now. But this time you're going to sell yourselves unto this new world order. You're going to sell yourselves over to sell your souls over unto the king of Babylon, these elites, through a digital slavery through this charagma. All right. It says there's nothing like the sweet smell of building back better. Pennsylvania farmers are being crushed by the record cost of diesel, so much so that questions about a food crisis are starting to loom, the Morning Call reported. You see, so they're being crushed, man, by the price of diesel because they can't afford the diesel to fill up the equipment to pull these crops that are ready to be pulled out of the earth into the stores, man, which is just another way that the Lord is sending a famine here upon Babylon the Great, man. You see, and this is all part of the elite. That's why they're doing what they're doing. That's why they're making the cost of gas so high. That's why they're raising the price, turning off the pipelines. That's why they gave Russia the power to control, a lot of this energy and giving them the keys to having control over that because they want to take that ability away from the average person here in America to have those things and to make it harder for you to get it. In which I read another article to where this jackass Biden is giving away not all of them, but basically more than half of the reserves of oil and that America has stored up over unto those European unions because they're cussing out Joe Biden because of how, because of that war and what's going on over there in Ukraine and how Russia is basically cutting off a lot of the European Union allies of America off of the natural gas because of this war and the sanctions that America is putting them on. So Joe Biden is giving away the American reserves over onto Europe, on the hush hush tip, man, which is all leading into, these higher gas prices, to phase everybody out, to make it damn near impossible for for everyday consumption of gasoline to be affordable. It says one farmer in Lehigh County is quoted as saying, "I've got a tractor hooked up to my corn planter out here, no diesel fuel, and I can't afford to get any," you see? And this is all part of the plans of these elite to have complete control over you people and to stifle this food supply. It says that farmer was airing his gripes to Kyle Kotzemoyer, a legislative affairs specialist for the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau. Katsumoyer then turned around and testified to state lawmakers, "We have reached that point to where it is very close to being a sinking ship. We are teetering on the edge right now." It says the situation looks as though it will continue to push food prices higher after the government reported that food prices in May were 10.1% higher than last year. You see? And another way you're going to have a famine of these people is that they might have food in the store, but through hyperinflation and through the devaluation of the dollar, they might have a little bit of food in the store, but the price will be so expensive that that average person can't afford it. And that's another way that the Lord is sending these arrows of famine here on Babylon the Great, which eventually is just going to have these people to just bum rush and just go absolutely crazy and, ransack these stores pretty soon when things get bad enough. Which is then is going to justify this government and sending in the military, sending in the drones, man, to protect and to, have the military out here protecting grocery stores and food that is left, but is too expensive for the average person to obtain, man. It says Katsumoyer lamented the possibility of a food shortage. One, if they can't afford to put it in the ground, you see, that's one way. They can't even afford to plant these crops because it's too expensive. They don't have the field to, use these machines to plant it. And it says what? Or two, if they can't afford to take it out, you see. And that's why the gas prices are so damn high, man. This famine is being manufactured, and it's all being manufactured as a way of control. And these elites know that one way to get people to control people is through their stomach. If they're starving, if they're hungry, if they need food and water, and you're the one that can supply it, you can get people to do damn near anything you want to, man. And this is what these elite are banking on in order to lead you people down, that path of the MOTB. It says the Pennsylvania average for diesel is now $6.19 per gallon, up about 75% from a year ago. The report notes it is a huge, huge expense for farmers, Katsumoyer told state legislators. It says on farmers who work on about 3,500 acre burns through about 2,000 gallons of diesel per month. He said, if the farmers cannot get crops out of the ground, then there is not food on the shelves, you see. And this is just one of the other many ways that this famine is being orchestrated and brought in, man. And it's all being done to control you people, man. All right. This is nothing new. And these elites, they're taking it there, man. All right. And these prices are not going to slow down. And they just did an interest rate hike, which is going to just slowly but slowly further implode this economy, man. And these devils are looking to have full control over everything, and even you people. All right. This is Genesis 47:13. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And that's what's about to come here. That's why you keep hearing about food shortages, rough times, especially, they keep telling you that, the grain shortage, And on top of that, you're going to have hyperinflation. It's going to be so expensive that even if you can go to the store, if they do have it, the average person won't be able to afford it, man. And that sore famine is coming here to Babylon the Great. You see, it says, and Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the corn which they bought. And Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when the money failed in the land of Egypt, you see, and how is the money going to fail here in Babylon the Great? Through hyperinflation. When the money becomes so worthless that it's going to take a tremendous amount of money to pay for the average everyday food item, whether it be eggs, milk, bread, meat. It's going to be too effing expensive for the average person to pay for it, man. And here it is. You're going to have the cost of things going up, but your raises are not going to go up. The price of the money is not going to be able to keep up with the constant devaluation of it. You see, and the money is going to fail just like it did in ancient Egypt. And that's what these elite are banking on, because they know the amount of control that is going to and power is going to give them over the average person. Hey, when these people are starving, you have control of them, and you tell them, look, those of you who haven't taken the spider piss, go take the spider piss now. If you want food, if you want bread, that's going to be the only way you're going to be able to get your government handouts when the famine is so sore. Guess what? These people are going to do it. You need milk, Similac for your baby. You need milk for your baby. You need water for your household. What are you going to do? You're going to do whatever they tell you to do in order for you to acquire it, man. And that's where things are headed. It says, and when the money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph. Like, you're going to go into your government, you're going to go into those people that have, the access to the food and water and the things that you need, and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle. If money, Joseph, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if the money fail. Yeah, so pretty soon, these devils will be like, give me the deeds to your house. All right, give me, whatever whatever they may ask for. The deeds to your house. Give me, the lease to your car. The pink slip to your car. Whatever the case might be. And these people are going to give it. It says, and they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses, and he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. You see? So they gave it up. For what? Because of food, because they were starving and they were hungry. They gave up their assets, man. They gave up their property. And they gave over their own souls as well. It says, and when that year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, we will not hide it from my lord, how that our money is spent. My lord also hath our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my lord, but our bodies and our lands. You see? And that's what, that's how bad it's going to get out here, to where these people are going to be willing to give over their bodies and their lands and their property, even their children, over to the damn beast, man, just for a little bit of comfort, for some food, for some water, And that's why faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is going to be the most precious commodity that us men of the Lord are going to have, man. And the Lord has all of our bases covered. The Lord just wants us to believe and have faith, man. Did not the Lord say that my servants shall eat and my servants shall drink? But those that have despised his word shall die of thirst and famine of bread, man. Because they're going to be overcame by the, the tricks and the damn, the thing that these elites are going to do, that attack on your flesh, A lot of our people are going to be overcame onto that. That's why as brothers, we got to pray to be in a more heavier spirit, to not be overcome by these things. And that the Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is truly dealing with us to preserve us and keep us, from that hour of temptation, which a lot of these people are going to be led and overcome by that hour of temptation because of the lack of bread and the lack of food and the lack of comfort. All right. And they're going to give over their bodies and their lands and their property and their children, just like these Egyptians did to Pharaoh. It says, wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread. You see that? For what? For bread. So they sold their souls into the damn Pharaoh for bread, man, and water. And that's why you see all of these food plants being burnt down. You see all these chickens being slaughtered. The other day, brother put video of thousands of cattle just dying. Which the Lord is causing this famine to come. Whether he's doing it through weather patterns, or he's just striking dead a bunch of chickens and cows, or he's putting the spirit on Esau to poison these animals, or just to put the spirit on him to just to blow up all these farms and drive airplanes into them and burn them down to the ground to bring in this famine, man, because it's ultimately Yahweh Bashem Yahushua's famine, man. You see, to ultimately to lead a lot of your people to be overcame and be karagmad up and be destroyed and burnt by nuclear fire, man. And let's not forget the amount of people that's going to die of starvation through this famine. And believe me, these elites have already done the calculations. They already know that, around the whole earth globally, that millions upon people are going to die through this orchestrated famine and lack of bread. You see, it says, buy us and our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh. You see, and how are you going to be a servant unto this modern day Pharaoh, Esau, Edom, these globalists? Through the MOTB, through the charagma, man. It says, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate. And Joseph brought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh, for the Egyptians sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh's. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt, even to the other end. You see, only the land of the priests brought he not, for the priests had a portion assigned to them of Pharaoh, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them, wherefore they sold not their lands. You see, because Esau, and that's the modern day The priest of these elites are going to be these other multi-billionaires, those other elites that are, in cahoots with them. They're still going to eat and fare sumptuously every day and have their property and their lands intact because they're all invested in this build back better, this global reset. They're going to be all right, but the rest of you people out here, forget about it. It says, it came to pass in the increase that they shall give fifth part unto Pharaoh. Okay, that's mainly the point. The point is that these people through the famine were so sore that they sold themselves unto Pharaoh, man. And how this devil is going to use the same example and use this food and lack of bread and water and famine as a tool of control over these people out here, man. All right, he got that Snicker commercial had it right, man. Makes sense now, where it says you're not yourself when you're hungry. You watch those commercials. It'll be a particular guy. He was so damn hungry, he was just a whole totally different person. He was acting out of character. He was wilding out. He just wasn't thinking right. And that's how these people are going to be when when that hunger set in, man. To the point to where they're going to freely give away their houses, their assets, and even their own souls to this devil, just for bread and food and water, man. But those of us who are of the household of faith, man, amen. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai be with you, your family, and your children, and that the Lord puts a different spirit on us to be not overcome by this shit, man. And you got to understand that. Look, the Lord is in control of all things, man. If the Lord is, through the left hand is controlling this famine, he could easily through the right hand feed you and give you water and drink and preserve you from this shit. And that's where our hope and our faith is. So, you brothers, hey, man, just stay strong. Continue to trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and the Lord's going to take care of the rest for us. But, the rest of the people out here, and 2/3 of our people, this is being created for their judgment and for their destruction, for their lack of faith and trust in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. So, hey, we just got to sit back, relax, keep doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, and the Lord's going to take care of everything else. So with that, Lord willing, you were edified. Call halal Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Until the next lesson, shalom.